Welcome back to Level 7 Omega Protocol. We're going to do a playthrough of Mission 2, A Breath of Fresh Air. This is turn 3, I guess I'll call it. And it is the beginning of the commando's turn. But, of course, the first thing we do when we begin a turn is we move the timer counter up one space. All right. So now we're at turn 2. And the next thing we're going to have to do, so here we have our reconnaissance specialist in front of this door, our team leader, and our heavy support specialist. So we're going to go over to the commando cards, and we're going to pass adrenaline over to the overseer, and then we're going to assign initiative and a stance. So let's go and do that. So here we are at the commando cards. We have 12 adrenaline. I just took them all off the cards, so it's easier for me to do right now. That need to be passed over to the overseer, so I'm just going to do that right now. That brings the overseer's adrenaline count up to 14. And I'm assigning initiative. I'm having the counter reconnaissance specialist go first, the team leader second, and the heavy support specialist will be going third. For stances, I have the team leader in reckless advance, which means he can move 4 spaces, a ranged defense of 3, and a melee defense of 4. It says your melee attacks cost 1 adrenaline instead of the normal amount. Remove 1 black die from your ranged attacks, and it's a maximum of 4 adrenaline. The reconnaissance specialist is in cautious advance, same as last time, so 3 speed, 3 melee and ranged defense. It says after you've been attacked, you can increase your adrenaline by 1 to move up to 2 spaces, and you can boost a stat challenge roll twice instead of once. 6 maximum adrenaline, and I have the heavy support specialist in hustle mode. Nothing really special here. It says you can move through enemy figures, so he can shove his way past enemy figures, and he has speed of 3, range defense of 3, melee defense of 4, and his max adrenaline is 5. All right. So let's go back to the main board then, and we will do the commando activation phase, starting with our reconnaissance specialist. All right, up first, our reconnaissance specialist. And because he has 1 wound on him, I am going to have him spend 2 adrenaline. And with the 2 adrenaline, he can do a heal action. So that's 2 of his possible 6. So he is able to remove the wound marker that is on him. And for his next activation, I'm going to spend 1 adrenaline, and I'm going to have him open this door, or attempt to open this door. So let's see what we have here. This time, it's a locked door. A commando must pass a 3 intelligence challenge to open this door. So it's locked. We had a jammed one, now this one is locked. It's not easy to get through this level 4 part of the facility. He has an intelligence of 3, so he gets to roll 3 black dice. I think, though, that he is going to spend 1 adrenaline and boost that to be able to roll 4 black dice. And he needs 3 successes on 4 black dice. So let's see if he can do that. Wow, 7 successes. He's a whiz. No problem at all. The door is easily unlocked. Just going to pan up a little bit here and see what goes on in this room. So, of course, now that the room door has opened, I'm going to leave the door there for a minute in case something spawns here. And we have 2 cards in the room. And the first one is a priority 2, and it is a vent. And what it says is place a vent marker on any tile in this room. Do not place it on a wall or objective space. So that is going to be a vent tile. So let's grab one of those. They look like this. And now the overseer, of course, gets to place a vent in this room. And I think I'm going to place the vent right over on this corner next to the squashed guard on the floor. So we'll have that. The next card in the room is a recon patrol. So it has spawned 2 rogue clones and 1 warrior clone in this room. So similar to last time, we get 2 rogues, 1 warrior to spawn in this room. And where do I want to put them? I think I'm going to actually have one of the rogue clones here. I'm going to put the other rogue clone right at the back, and I'm going to put the warrior clone on top of the search marker at the other corner at the back of the room. So that is that. Now I can take away the door marker because that is finished. And the recon specialist still has 2 adrenaline he can spend. He also has a free move action if he wants to use that. And I think that he probably, this is going to get a little tricky. He's probably going to use his free move, and he has a movement of 3. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, and 3. And again, the second he moves there, we're going to shift. No, we're not. We're not going to do that. So he moves 3 there, and I think he is just going to leave off his turn there. I know it's a little bit, be nice if he could get a shot off, but then he'll be at maximum adrenaline. So let me just think about that for a minute, and I'll come right back. Okay, I've made up my mind. So when the recon specialist moved here, I'm going to actually have him face this way and shoot at this guy here. Now he doesn't have cover because we have 1-2 space and 1-2, so he's actually not in cover, so he's going to get a full shot. So our recon specialist is maxed out in his adrenaline. He's going to get 3 black dice, and he's going to get 1 red die to try and take down the rogue clone. Now that rogue clone has a defense of 4, so let's see if a recon specialist can mow him down. 1, 2, 3, 4, just enough. Splatters the rogue clone against the wall, and he is gone. So that is the end now of the recon specialist move. I'm going to go right now into the team leader, and the team leader has a movement of 4, so he can really motor, but he only has adrenaline that he can spend of 4. And because of reckless advance, it says melee attacks cost 1 adrenaline instead of the normal amount. So he's right here. I'm going to have him do a move action. That's going to cost him 1 adrenaline. So we're going to do that. 1 of possible 4. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's done his 1 diagonal already. He is going to spend 1 more adrenaline to move again. He's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second he does that, let's go over to the dashboard because something's going to happen. Okay, so as soon as the team leader gets into that space next to the warrior clone, I am going to spend 6 adrenaline right now to use surprise attack. And I know you're thinking, how can you use surprise attack when it already has adrenaline tokens in it? Well, there's something in the bottom called a committed cost. You can use it if you spend that number, which is 6, directly to the bank. So I'm going to have the 6 adrenaline from the overseer go directly to the bank, and that warrior clone is going to take a shot at our recon specialist. So let's go back to the main board. Alright, so this warrior clone here is going to shoot point blank right at our recon specialist. The recon specialist has a range defense of 3, and this warrior clone has 3 black dice. So let's see if he's going to shoot our recon specialist. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is more than enough to beat the recon specialist's defense of 3. Recon specialist is going to take 1 wound. So we're going to put that onto the recon specialist card. He has 1 wound. Should mention all commandos have 5, basically, they can take 5 wounds before they get downed or knocked out. Okay, so now that the recon, or sorry, I said recon specialist, I meant team leader. Sorry about that. The team leader is here. The team leader also had a defense of 3. Sorry, I got that mixed up. Our recon specialist is sitting here after having shot that rogue clone against the wall. So the team leader takes a wound. All right, but the team leader is now adjacent, and because he is in reckless advance, melee attacks for him cost only 1 adrenaline. So he's going to spend 1 adrenaline. He is adjacent to the warrior clone, and he gets it says, while your speed is 4 or higher, roll 1 additional red die when attacking with this weapon, his melee weapon. So he's actually going to get 1 red and 3 black to try and knife down this warrior clone. So let's see if he can do that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Again, way more than enough to take the warrior clone right out of the game. He's gone. All right, good job, team. So now I'm going to have the team leader here use his ability, which is reposition. So he's going to spend his maximum adrenaline now up to 4, and himself and another commando within 5 space aura of him can move 2 spaces. So I'm going to have him move just 1 space right over here facing the vent, and I'm going to have the recon specialist move 2 spaces. Now the recon specialist did not move a diagonal yet, so I'm going to have him go 1, 2 to here facing the vent. And now it is the heavy's turn, and the heavy has 5 adrenaline to spend, and he's in hustle mode again. So if he does a move action, which he is going to do right now, he spends 1 adrenaline, so 1 of 5, and he gets to move 3 spaces. So I'm going to have him, he's down here, go 1, 2, 3, which is 1 diagonal. And have him move once more for another adrenaline, so 1, 2, and 3, and now he's within range of the rogue clone. So I'm going to have him spend 2 adrenaline to shoot at the rogue clone. And with his weapon, he gets 2 red, 3 black dice. So he's got a pretty hefty gun. And he's going to shoot at the rogue clone. Let's see what he gets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He blows the rogue clone away. And again, no other figures or markers on the board block line of sight. So that was easily shot down. Okay, I think that is the end of the commando's activations. The recon specialist is 6 adrenaline. He's at the maximum. Team leader is 4 adrenaline with 1 wound on him at the maximum. And the heavy support specialist has used 4 of 5 adrenaline. So that's going to be the end of the commando turn. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time where I will call turn 4, which will be the continuation of this round, where we will get into the Overseer's turn. The Overseer now has 8 adrenaline to spend. All right. Thanks for watching.